The guards today made an absolute show of themselves, and it's a disgrace that they actually said two guards, and they felt the need to go into a church in County Westmeath today in Athlone, and stop people from saying mass, in a church. And people might say, it's against the COVID regulations, whatever, but that's not the point. And people are entitled to be in their place of worship, no matter who, no matter if it's you're Muslim, Protestant, whatever, Catholic. You're entitled to your place of worship. And again, they were doing very little harm. There was actually, and I would say very little, they were doing no harm at all to anybody. It was only about, at most, 15 there. At most 15 there. Not many, again, and the guards more or less saying COVID randomly turned up. And then you went down the road, and I wouldn't mind, there's probably a little alley, and there's probably about 600 people there. And no one will be seeing the guards. And then they're up at the church, knocking down the church doors, forcing themselves into the church. And again, they would just paraded them outside. Again, I didn't think it was the Soviet Union, but again, the guards always surprised me, and everything always surprised me in this state. So obviously, just putting it straight to people, it's a disgrace. It is really, really a disgrace that these people do no harm to anybody. I could see a few people in the video. It's on Niall McConnell's channel, the Irish Patriots channel. He has a video up and it's 4 minutes long. I recommend going to watch it. It's been shared around widely, but if you want to watch it there, it's on Niall McConnell's channel. That's just off the top of my head. There's a few on Twitter that it's going around on Twitter. It's very easy to find, just to say. But again, the absolute show of the guards coming in and forcing them not to say mass and forcing them outside. And now I don't know, did they take everybody's name or whatever, but the good lot of people there were wearing masks and probably had the windows open and social distance and whatever. But that doesn't matter. They just want to shut it down, knock it down. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Every other country might have the churches open, but this country's different. We don't want the churches. No, God, no, we couldn't have that. We couldn't have people praying, and hoping and having faith in God. Again, they want people to live in fear, and they just want people to constantly live in fear and going into a place of worship and feeling safe. They don't want that. So there was only about at most 15 people there today, and they didn't have to. Again, they were doing no harm to nobody. There was no harm. I wouldn't mind if they were in the middle of the road stopping, having the mass or whatever. That'd be different. It'd be disrupting the peace and obviously disrupting traffic and everything. That'd be different. So that'd be different kettle of fish. But these people in the church, they were doing no harm to anybody. And they felt the need to go in and just, I don't know why they felt the need to go in. But again, this is the thing, it shouldn't have happened in the first place. I don't know why they felt the need. If that was me as a guard, I would just say, if there's only a few of them, I would have been like, again, probably straight away I would say, they're entitled to the place of worship, and probably leave it at that and probably go away. And that's what I would probably do. But again, I don't know why these guards felt the need to go in, and just be, I don't know what you would call them, small Soviet people, I suppose. We go in and just order people around and order this and order that. And I heard one guard looking for somebody's name, asking for one of their names. But it is really a shame. And again, so says me whole mountain. Next month, religious servants, this won't be penal for visions. And I use the word penal. And again, we're the only country in the only country in Europe, that has the churches closed, and you can go up Northern Ireland, a few hours drive from Athlone, and you can go to mass. Like, apparently it doesn't exist in Northern Ireland in the churches. It just randomly appears in the Irish Republic churches. Apparently, so they say. But yeah, I'm again, it just really just proves what everything I've been saying. It's a disgrace, and again, that they said the two guards had to go in. There probably was more. But again, at least the one thing I would say about Father PJ, the guards go every weekend. There's 2 or 3 guards go every weekend to his church and probably just say, whinge, quip, cry, this legal ceremony, this legal gathering or whatever. And they just go home. They just really haven't. I think the guards at this stage going into his church and just basically telling the public health advice and then going away. They really won't shut it down, I don't think, because I think a lot of people in Cavan would be very tick with the guards if they done that. I think the guards know that, because people in Cavan are very, I suppose, supportive for Father Peter, and so they should be. But again, I don't think they want to step on people's corns too much in Cavan, because I think it's been already stepped on too much people's corns in Cavan. So the guards really don't do anything to that, and I don't think Father Peter would listen to the guards anyway. And they have no right in going in and just saying, "Oh, here, you get out." They have no right in doing that. They will have no right in doing that. And again, it just goes to show you, the girls will never be forgiven. For a lot of the girls will never be forgiven for what they did. For going into places of worship and saying to people, get out, get out. And forcing churches to close. They will never be forgiven. They will never be forgiven for that. And their reputation's been demolished, and let's be honest, the reputation of the Garda Sín Conor, keep of the peace. Far little keeping the peace, taking away people's rights as much as humanly possible should be next slogan for Garda Sín Conor. And it is a shame that we have to live in a state like this. You think the girls to be saying, going into the church and saying, and going up to the Taoiseach and going up to the Taoiseach stuff, and to the local governments and to the, to Neffet and the West, and going up to them and saying, you should be arrested for infringing on civil liberties and infringing on people's human rights. And the girls should put Tony Houlihan and Micheál Martin and Leo into a back of a squad car and send them off to Mountjoy for a while. Again, this is what the girls should be doing instead of going around knocking down doors and, I don't know, like, randomly says the stuff. Again, there's been a post office robbery in Carver the other day. One person's still allowed. They got one person for it, but the one person's still allowed. And the girls are probably going around with headless chickens, going around with COVID fines. And that's what they're probably all busy doing. Going around with COVID fines. Probably all around Mullinholm, standing around Mullinholm doing nothing. But again, this is Ireland. Welcome to 2021. Which is really China in this country. I might as well say it's China. Well, it's China, yeah. Welcome to China in 2021. It's a great place to be. Democracy thrives in this country. Freedom of religion. We have great choice in this country. It's just a great country.